Isn't Airsoft great? Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Chuckles here.
And Isaiah.
And we're the Hawaiian Chairsofters, and we're here to tell you how Airsoft is supposed to be played.
Facts.
But anyways, this video is another extreme theory. This time, we're going to be covering advanced individual tactics. So the previous video we did is more beginner stuff. If you're new to the sport, you don't really know a lot, don't have a lot of knowledge, that was for you. Now this one is going to be for those guys that might have been playing for a bit, but they're looking to up their game, get some advantages. We're going to be covering a couple different things like effectiveness of reloading, outplaying your opponent. We're going to be doing movement again, but moving effectively from cover to cover, and a series of other small things that we're going to get going on. So let's jump right in. So then one of the most important things in every game is movement. At some point or another, you are going to have to move from cover to cover in order to gain an advantage over your opponents, to push ground so that you guys can move up. So there are a bunch of right ways to do it, and there's a lot of wrong ways to do it. Something we commonly see is people will just run across a lane of fire, not really sure, and then they get lit up, and then they're mad that they got lit up, and they don't know why they got lit up. So they're just, it's just more of an awareness thing, partially, but you can't just expect them to stop shooting. You have to give them a reason to stop shooting. If the enemy's already shooting in a lane of fire, how are you going to get them to stop shooting? Well, you either shoot them or you shoot at them. So then one of the most effective forms of moving cover to cover, if you are in an engagement, is you are going to be actively firing at them. So for the most part, if you're moving up, one of the key, it's essentially what you're doing is suppressing the enemy. So what you do if you're trying to move, maybe if you're trying to move up closer to the enemy, or even if you're trying to just cross from one building to the other, as you're about to move, what you need to do is you need to lay down fire for yourself when you don't have a team, which we're going to cover in our next video, which is going to be advanced. It's going to be squad tactics or team tactics. You're going to need to suppress for yourself. So what you need to do is you need to aim your gun towards the direction of the enemies, and as you are moving, you're going to want to shoot at them while you're moving from cover to cover. This is going to suppress them. They're going to not want to get shot, obviously, so they're going to go back behind their cover. That's going to give you a window. And if you keep laying down fire, then that's going to give you enough of an advantage. It'll give you enough of a time frame that you should be able to move from one building to another pretty effectively and pretty quickly without a lot of issues, unless you're being shot from like 30 different directions. But for the most part, that's how you move up on when you have a one-on-one engagement. It's about keeping your gun level and moving and focusing. You really have to trust yourself. I mean, it doesn't come very easily, just moving and shooting and trusting that you're not going to walk into a building. But practice it over time. The more you do it, the better you will get at it. The more used to it you'll get, the less weird it'll be. But you're going to be able to cover yourself. You're going to move around the field a lot more effectively than you conventionally would.
And when you're moving and shooting, you want to make sure that you're trying to keep your body as level as possible, so you're getting somewhat decently accurate shots on them. That way you're not like bouncing your gun around and shooting everywhere. So try to keep nice level ground. What the best way to do that is going heel to toe with your feet. That way it keeps your upper body nice and stable, and you can kind of move that around wherever you need to. So in the tactical world, there's two types of reloads. You have the speed reload and the tactical reload. Most people will probably opt for the tactical reload because it's less damage to your mags. But what the speed reload is, you're engaging somebody and you need to reload because you're out of ammo and they're shooting at you and you are potentially in danger. So what you need to do, drop your mag as quickly as possible. Best way to do that is just mag flip it out of your gun or drop it out of your gun and insert a new mag and then engage. The tactical reload is when you have dealt with a threat and you're going to reload just to make sure that you have more ammunition in your gun just in case. So that one, you take your mag out, you can put it either back in a pouch or in a dump pouch, and then you insert a new mag. That's pretty much it. It's a lot slower, and I wouldn't really recommend it if you're getting engaged by somebody, because that's going to give them an advantage to come at you and shoot you. So If you don't want to damage your mags though, the speed reload, or the tactical reload works. Speed reload's definitely better though, in terms of when you're getting engaged.
So a lot of the times when you're out in the airsoft field, what you'll run into is you'll run into a one-on-one engagement. So one player is very much, you're trying to defeat that other player for some reason or the other, you need to get past them. So there are a couple different tactics that you can utilize to give you an advantage and a leg up. They're pretty simple to use. They're tactics that can be very easily employed. They don't really require an excessive amount of effort. But the small amount of effort that you put in, you're going to get in return when you're owning everybody out on the field and you're the best ever. So then one of the things that you should always do is, we already talked about moving up under cover, moving under fire. So that's a good method to close the gap between you and your enemy, because the closer that you are to somebody, the more likely you're going to shoot them. Airsoft guns are glorified muskets. You are not 100% accurate. So the less factors that you can have in the way of you shooting the opponent is going to make you more effective. So closing the distance will make it a lot easier for you. Then you're in control of the situation. So another advantage that you can take on your enemy is by keeping them guessing. There is not one way that is correct to shoot somebody. Just standing in the open and shooting is not going to be incredibly effective. So there are different ways that you can keep them guessing, where they won't know where the fire is coming from. So there are a few good ways you can do that. One is simply, if you're on a corner and you're shooting at somebody on another corner, just a really effective thing can be from going from standing to crouching at just kind of random intervals. Because if they're shooting you while you're standing up, and they can only see this small part of they can only see the upper part of your body. If you're crouching, you're completely changing your stance. So then where you are exposed on that corner, they're gonna be trying to shoot at your head. Next thing you know, they're super small. It's like you just got your legs cut off and you're trying to engage them. So that's one way to kind of keep them guessing. Another way is by changing your angle of fire. So what you can do is, if you are between two buildings, let's say, you can hop back and forth between buildings or barriers, or find other angles that they won't expect you to keep coming from. And don't do it like with any set pattern in mind. Like, you have to do it at random intervals, so then they definitely don't know where you're coming from. So then if they decide to expose themselves, or they try to come at you and they think they know where you are, you just outplay them, you just shoot them. So if the enemy doesn't know where you are, you already have an advantage on them. So another tactic that you can do is something called baiting, which some of you may already know, but that's essentially that when you're trying to make your opponent think that they know what's going on when they really don't. A way of doing this, you can shine, say you're one-on-one somebody, you can shine your light, shoot at them. If they're suppressed, take off your light, or stop shining your light, and they might think that you're gone, but you're still there, and then you can shoot them. It's another tactic that's pretty useful with a one-on-one. So then in closing, one of the most important things that you want to keep in mind, the best way to not have your team lose or you lose an engagement, is to make sure that all your areas are covered. The entire airsoft field is in play. So one of the most essential things you can do is make sure that every lane of fire and every entrance and doorway has somebody trained on it. And this is going more into the team tactics. But that's normally where you'll see people like me. I fit into the, well, if nobody is watching this, then I'm gonna have to watch it, because somebody's gotta be the one to hold it down. So you kind of have to have a situational awareness on a team level and on your individual level, where you're gonna be like, all right, where can I make myself most effective to the team and get an advantage so that I can help out the team and put my guys at an advantage where we can win. And that's essential, because there's a whole team other than you, and that'll be a good segue going into our team tactics video. So stay tuned for that. It'll be coming up in a little bit. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, go give it a like. Comment if you have any tips for beginners that you guys would like to share. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're going to be posting a lot more video content now that the school year is over and we all actually have time to be people and exist. So just make sure you keep an eye on our Instagram, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Other than that, thank you guys so much. Make sure you keep your eyes open for that DEA cartel event, Operation White Serpent. It's gonna be a good one. Other than that, it's been your boy Chuckles,
Isaiah,
and we'll see you guys next time. So there's that one time, right, that we were at that Op Dorito, and we were going into that room, and everybody was shooting everybody, and then I medic some dudes, and it was okay. But then they were shooting in the dark at some guys. I was like, oh my god, I have a grenade. This is going to be great. And so I take the grenade and I throw it. And they're like, no, there are friendlies in there. Ah! And then they're like, no.
Wow.
Isn't Airsoft great? That's good, right?
Probably.
Okay.